I'm sorry. Oh, I do. Oh,
It's okay.
I'm afraid of the reality. Oh my God, I'm afraid of the reality. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I do.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Welcome back to the channel, guys, at Lakeysha Keysha. So I want to kind of jump in here, guys, and go a little bit deep into this situation with regards to Ashleebraxton, which is their niece. And when I say their, I'm meaning the sisters, the Braxton sisters. Ashley is actually the daughter of Micheal Braxton, which is the lady's brother. I mean, the Braxtons, they're all females except for one, which is the brother, which we never see, by the way. And it's really starting to make sense. But what you guys told me is you guys told me that Tamar was abused as well. I didn't know this. So I had to go back and really watch those videos to get an understanding of what actually happened to Tamar. But it really helped me to understand the bond that Tamar has with Ashley, because it makes total sense. And it seems like Tamar and Ashley have been communicating this entire time, because when I go back and look, Tamar didn't just come out of the woodwork, but it seems like these two have some similarities in what happened to them in the past. And when I say what happened to them, I mean in terms of the abuse, okay? This is what I'm talking about. Now, I don't want to point any fingers, but we all have a brain that hopefully is functioning very good. But there's one person in common when we talk about Ashley and Tamar. And Ashley's father, who is also Tamar's brother, seems to be the common denominator in both of their situations. Now, I don't know if he was the perpetrator, but it's not looking good. And you guys can follow the words I'm saying. And let's quickly jump into my analogy. So Tamar says that she was assaulted sexually from the age of 6 all the way up to the age of 16. Her brother would have been about 9 years older than her. Now, my math may be off. Now, I'm not going to get a calculator or anything, but I believe he would have been about 15 when she was about 6. Now, I don't know if he did it, but she said in her household, she was assaulted by 2 people. 2. Now, she was the youngest. So, who are these perpetrators? What we do know is that Micheal is abusive. We know this from his own daughter. She's already said what she experienced in the household. And I put the videos up. You guys can go watch that video. Don't want to go and talk about that because I've already talked about it. But also, Ashley was bullied. Now, Ashley is Michael's daughter, who is Tamar's niece. She was bullied by her father to say, don't talk about the household. Now, have you ever heard of something like that, telling somebody not to talk about the household? The reason you don't want her to talk about the household is because you don't want to look a certain way. Well, if you didn't want to look that certain way, perhaps you shouldn't have did whatever it was you allegedly did, because something is just not adding up. Again, I don't know if he is the perpetrator or not, but have you guys ever wondered why we don't know anything about him? Why is he not a part of the show? Something just is not adding up. One thing we do know about this man is that he's not a nice person. You know why? Because his own daughter told us so. So what I did is I went back and I had to watch these interviews over and over again because I didn't even know that Tamar had went through this. And this really makes me understand her a whole lot more. The reason why I want to get into the interviews, guys, because it really shows the pattern of this family and just how crazy they are. Now, when we talk about Ashley's abuse and what she struggled with within this family, as far as being abandoned, as far as how she said that it seemed like they made it her fault. It seems like this is the same pattern that Tamar went through, because we're going to watch her interview and then we're going to watch her sisters react to her actual interview and what she said happened to her from age 6 all the way up to age
marriage
16.
to former manager Vincent Herbert ended, and she made the heartbreaking revelation that as a child, she was molested by multiple family members. As she tried to heal, Tamar rebounded with a new love, David Adefeso, and another show, Tamarbraxton, Get Your...
Okay, guys, I'm going to try to break this down. There was a lot of information that Tamar mentioned to the interviewer, which was Tamron Hall. Now, one of the things that she stated is that she was actually molested. She mentioned that she was molested from the age of 6 to 16. She also said that she felt betrayed. What she indicated is that her and her family went on the show Iyanla Fix My Life, and she felt as if she was exploited for ratings because her and her family went on the show for help, and she felt like somebody, a member of her family, told producers that she had been molested because they wanted to exploit her for ratings on the show. Another thing I want you guys to pay attention to, Tamar used these words. She said she was, actually, let me look at my notes. She said she was domestically sexually abused, is what she said. Okay. And that was very interesting to me because I had never heard that word before. And correct me if I'm not correct. I don't know that much about abuse other than, what I've looked up. Okay, so let's just get into what that term actually means. Okay, now it says, I'm looking at the dictionary here, just give me a moment. That word means I can't talk. Coercing or attempting to coerce any sexual contact or behavior without consent. Sexual abuse includes, but is certainly not limited to, marital rape, attacks on sexual parts of the body, forcing sex after physical violence. So I don't know if she was assaulted, but this is kind of what this is kind of alluding to. So I don't want to just say that happened, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what that meant, because I didn't even know what domestic, sexual assault, I didn't even know what that was. So Tamar is living with a lot of betrayal. She does not even trust her own family. Now, the reason why I am focusing on Tamar, because as I told you guys, Ashley has also made claims. And what we're kind of concentrating on is the proximity from Tamar, her brother. And we already know, between, Tamar's niece and what she said happened in the household with her father, which is Tamar's brother. Now, I want you guys to just keep in your mind that Tamar feels betrayed, because in this next clip that I'm going to play for you guys, it's going to bring it all home. Because what you'll see is you're going to see the sisters, and I don't know if I want to say, you'll see the sisters, but specifically two that's really making light of Tamar's situation. Now, I'm going to get into that because it makes sense what Tamar is saying. And I'm sorry to make this long for y'all. I don't like long videos, but I really needed to pull out all the parts and let you guys see what I was talking about. So let's get into that.
Tamar Braxton was found unconscious after a suicide attempt. What was that moment like for you? Y'all being so close and, you know, living your life so publicly. What was that moment like for your family?
Go ahead, Trina.
Well, first of all, I was very disappointed in finding out via social media because our family is closer than that. And to have someone else regurgitate that story to us. Well, or I can only speak for me. Right. But for someone else to tell me the story of something that happened to my own family is very disheartening. And as a family member, I would not have allowed that 911 call to happen the way that it did. And I think that as protectors of our family, as protectors of our sister, I think things would have gone differently had we known at the time that it happened.
How did the 911 call get out?
On social media.
Was it the boyfriend?
I'm sorry?
How did the tape get out? Was it the boyfriend that put it out there?
We have no idea how it came out. We just know, we know as much as you guys know. That I have to be honest. We don't know all the details of what transpired before that happened. We don't know what happened while the paramedics were there. We have no idea. We just know what you guys know. We know what we heard from the 911 call. As Trina stated, we heard everything on social media. Trina called me in the wee hours of the morning, and that's how I found out. And I looked on social media and was like, why is this everywhere? And we don't know about this. I just think that the protocol should be, you call the family members first, and then, you know, and then allow it to leak out to the media.
Whose fault?
I wouldn't have done it that way.
Whose fault is that though? Is it network? Is it like, cause like
that's not network. That's not network wasn't there.
That's an inner person.
Right. Network wasn't there. The network wasn't there.
How would they know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
they found out the same way that we found out on social media.
So what do y'all think about David?
Oh, I don't. I have my own life. I don't think about David.
Who?
David.
Who? I'm Mariah Carey. Who?
The guy with the dreads.
Who? And
my husband.
I said about you. Who?
My husband has dreads.
Well, moving on. Well, after the trailer of season 7 of Braxton Family Values was released, Tamar took to social media to voice her concerns about being used for a storyline. She posted, "I am no longer employed by 𝐻TV, and they're still using my hurt and me to make a coin." What do you think about that? And is it fair for the network to cover that?
Well, I'm going to say this very blatantly and very honestly. During season 7 of Braxton Family Values, we do not talk about Tamar's physical or mental health. We talk about how it affected us, but we do not physically address Tamar's hurt, pain, or experience. We can't speak to that. Tamar has her own story to tell, and it's very important for Tamar to tell her story in her way whenever she decides to tell it. We in no way, shape, or form addressed how Tamar is doing or how Tamar is feeling. We only addressed how we felt, as we're doing now, how we felt when the situation happened, when it came to us. We have no horse in that race. All we want is for our sister to have peace and health and well-being, and of course our nephew Logan.
I would think it'd be normal to film your reaction because that's your sister and she's part of the show.
Exactly, our reaction, but we cannot speak for her.
It would be fake to not talk about your sister when something so tragic happens. Like, I think
that part.
That's, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you didn't react to it, people would say, "What the hell? They don't love their sister?"
I mean, it's damn if you do. It's damn if you do and damn if you don't. If we didn't say anything, we're insensitive. And now that we are saying things, and we're only speaking on how it, like Trina said, how it affected us, how we were affected in this situation, because medically speaking, like a lot of doctors will tell you that it's important for the victim to understand how it how it impacted your family and your friends and your loved ones. It's important for them to see that. So maybe they can get themselves together a little quicker. I'm just saying that, it's unfair, really, but we definitely touch on how we experienced it and how we felt when we found out about it. And I don't think anything was wrong with that.
Right about that, Tawanda.
Tamar also insisted the footage from the show was staged, specifically referring to when you all found out about the attempt. What are your thoughts on that? I know sometimes you have to reenact things.
Staged? What was staged, though?
I think the reaction, like when y'all, the reaction to finding out about her.
Well, it was merely a question. That's the same question that you're asking us. It was a question that the producers asked us. Hey, how did you feel when this happened? How did you feel when you found out about it? So it's not really reenacting that. It's about expressing and answering the question of how we felt and what we experienced when we found out about it. It was just a question. It wasn't a reenactment. I don't look at it as a reenactment.
Well, I think it's supremely unfair to attack us as a family, to continue to work and to get ostracized for it because we didn't have the same experience that she did. And it's unfair because we did not speak in any way, shape, or form about Tamar and her situation. We did not make that 911 call. We did not say anything to the media in regards to Tamar's situation. We did not openly say anything about what's happening with Tamar's situation, except for the fact that we love her and we're here for her and we're in her corner. And yet we are the ones who are being ostracized when we are not the ones who are putting things openly in the media. It's completely unfair. It's completely unfair and unwarranted.
Is it fair to say if the tape wasn't put out there by whoever put it out there, no one would even know anything because it could have been private, and then her privacy could have really been protected. She could have healed on her own without us even knowing about it to talk about it. Is that fair to say?
That part, yes.
Well, I think whoever did that, and if anyone could get to the bottom of that, I think that's the person. And that's none of my business. And I know people, you're bringing Tamar's. Me and Tamar have squashed our little thing on the show. So I have no dog in this race either. You know what I mean? I just want to be clear about that because I know people, I don't want her to get upset or the people watching. I feel like the person who put that out there and so quickly, and on the tape, it was really weird, him talking about the network, who does that when their girlfriend's going through a crisis. I just don't understand. If my man was on the phone talking to 911 when I'm sick and you're talking about Bravo TV, I would be like, mother, what the fuck you TV? Hello, I'm not doing well. And if that tape gets out, that's the person who's responsible for putting her on.
That's right. It was not done by her family.
Well, I really hope that she's doing okay and you guys keep that bond going because it's clear y'all love each other. Y'all have issues like every other family does.
Oh, heck yeah.
We're gonna take a break, and we'll talk about taking a break from reality TV, if that's even possible. So we'll be back with more Out Loud of Fox. When I come to Atlanta, I'm hanging with all three of y'all sisters.
Come on through.
Yeah, come on, Claudia.
Drinks. We're gonna go for
Let me know.
Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Some Long Island iced teas. We're gonna have all that. Okay, let's.
Well, you know how we do when we hang out, Claudia.
You've been at my place in Atlanta. We had fun.
Yes.
You're a good time. You're a good time. Oh, y'all are cool. I like y'all.
You're a good time.
I rocked with y'all. Seriously.
Of course, Claudia.
Okay, so look, with all the stuff that's happened, the chaos, the ups, the downs, have y'all ever thought, look, we need to take a break from reality TV and just kind of like, focus on strengthening the family and all that kind of stuff? Or is it like, no, I'm cool? Did it ever get to the point where you felt like I want to take a break from it? Time out?
It got to that point, but I said I had to take a break from my sisters.
That part.
I had to take a break from my sisters. I love them. I love them so much. But, I ain't no little kid or no 20 years old no more. I'm just like, you know what? I gotta have a break from them. Let me figure out my family. Let me figure out what's under my threshold right now. Let me get that together. And then I can deal with my sisters. I can't deal with both of them.
I would say it's probably a lot. And speaking of taking a break, y'all sister Tamar unfollowed all y'all and your mother on social media. Were y'all surprised? When y'all get unfollowed, I feel a little bit hurt. Like I'd be like, oh
no,
Girl,
it's not like she's never done it before, Claudia. Let's just be honest. It's not like she's never done that before. Okay, she's unfollowed us before, and we don't measure our family and our relationship with social media. We just don't. Yeah. That's just what it is.
Can I stunt on y'all real quick and say that she follows me now? Can I follow y'all?
That is so much shade, Claudia, because we all know that. Because let's be honest, Claudia, you and Tamar went through y'all little stuff too, and then y'all got back together, and God knows how long that's gonna last. But the reality of it is this: even though she unfollowed us on social media, doesn't mean that she doesn't talk to us in real life. Okay. So people can have whatever perception they want to have. Yeah. You know, just like you and Tamar talk behind the scenes, and people think that y'all still going through y'all little. But you're okay. You understand what I'm saying? So, social media is just a medium for people to have something to say and build a platform. So it has nothing to do with real life and real family.
And to be fair, sometimes you do need a break, like Tracy said, and maybe you don't want to see someone up and down your timeline when you're in a weird place, right? Is that fair to say? Like, look, I need a break. I want to see you.
Yeah, I mean, even McDonald's says you deserve a break today. I mean,
Right.
Did y'all see her interview with Tamron Hall? Did you see your sister's interview with Tamron Hall?
Yes.
What did you think about it? Was it good? How was it for y'all? Was it on point? How'd y'all feel about it?
What do you mean on point?
Did you take any issue with it? Was there anything that like bothered you, or was it like, okay, that's just normal? It's a normal interview.
Tamar had to speak her truth, and her truth is her truth. It doesn't necessarily mean it is the truth, but it is the truth according to her, and she has to live with how her truth and what her truth looks like in her life, and she deserves to be able to have her platform to tell her story the way she wants to tell it, and we have to respect it.
Respect what she have to say.
Where she is mentally and emotionally, that's all.
And I'm sorry to ask you so many questions, but you all are such a known unit, like all of you as a group. I mean, you have your individual platforms and of course fan base and accomplishments. And I hope you don't feel like I'm just like Tamar, because it's not about just that. But it is a news story, and it's something that the fans want to know about. Right. And it's part of, it's part of having your life out there when you have an issue, sister. You know what I mean? That's true. Kind of part of it. So I hope, thank you for being so gracious to answer all these questions. And Tamar, if you're watching, I hope you don't take this as we're shading you or it's being negative, because it's not. And I'd much rather have the narrative and the story put out by sisters that love you than bloggers and boyfriends with motives and side people that are just outsiders looking in, because we don't really know. Y'all know. We don't know. I just want to put that out there real quick. So, okay.
But you know what, Claudia, we also don't know. We also don't know. And that's unfortunate.
And we still follow each other. I'll let y'all know, and I'll get back to you. I'll let y'all know.
You know what? Shade, Claudia.
What you want me to ask Tamar? I'm gonna find out. Let me call her real quick. Cool.
You are so right now with all this shade you were throwing at me. I'm under the tree.
I've been the shady little bitch this week, I must say.
That's okay. Now, guys, the number one thing that I wanted to concentrate on with regards to that interview with the Braxton sisters is exactly what I wanted you guys to be able to point out. And that is the fact that what Tamar said happened to her was pretty much, they're saying that she's lying is pretty much what they're saying. They're saying what she said is her truth and not exactly the truth. So is that not saying she's lying? And I think that's pretty bad and a slap in the face for someone to say that they have, been abused, and then for their own family to pretty much say that they're not being honest, when now we see the niece coming out, and the niece is saying that she was, abused, assaulted by her own father. So is it too far-fetched And again, I don't know if Micheal was the perpetrator, but who was? If it wasn't Micheal, who was it? Now, Tamar did indicate that it was more than one person, but it really seems that one of the people could have been her older brother. And of course, guys, make sure you like the video, share the video. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, this would be an awesome time to do so. And if you want to be a super supporter, go ahead and purchase. Hi, and I am so glad that you guys are here. Let me tell you this. I started YouTube roughly 1 year ago. And you know what I did? I struggled like hell to figure it out. But thankful I was diligent and able to monetize in under 90 days. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys exactly how I did it. So what I did is I sat down and I created a course to help you guys become successful on YouTube. When I first started, I struggled. I did not know what to do. And I'm going to tell you why I decided to create this course. When I started YouTube, this is what I said. I said that if I did not make money in at least 60 days, I was done. And guess what I did? I did just that. And my first official check for 30 days on YouTube was roughly $7,000. Now, I know some of y'all is like, that's no money. And in all actuality, it ain't a lot of money, but it's not a little money, especially from somebody that was coming to a social media platform such as YouTube that I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was able to figure it out to be able to make an income of $7,000. So what I said is I see some of the smaller YouTubers struggling. So what I want to do is show you guys what I did to become successful. So what I did is I created a course to teach you guys the basics. Now, this will not be the only course, but this will be the first course in which I will teach you guys how to get monetized very fast. So all you need to do right now is go ahead and click on the link, because we are running a special, or I am running a special, because I want to make sure you guys get monetized. Because listen, it is the holidays, it is becoming a new year soon, and y'all need to get y'all some more income. And if you guys are trying to be monetized on YouTube and just have not figured it out, I have created a course specifically for you. Please head on over to Teachable and you can get 50% off the course today. So hurry on over there, and I hope to see you on Tuesday.